Good evening, good evening, good evening, my brothers and sisters. How are you doing this wonderful evening? We at the point called Over the Hump Day. How are you doing? How are you doing? Your brother Tony is in the house, and we got a good meal for you this evening. We got some good soul food. So it's dinner time, my brothers and sisters. I look forward to being with you every evening from Monday through from Sunday through Thursday to have dinner and break bread with you. Tonight's topic, my brother and sister, you will really, really enjoy this topic. But I want the rest of you brothers and sisters, I want you to come in and get your seat. We have plenty of time so you can get into what we're going to talk about today. I don't know why this phone is ringing. Every time I want to have a good show, somebody's going to always be calling. But anyway, we're back to what I'm about to talk about. If this is your first time, my brothers and sisters are eating with the rest of the family, I want you to do this one thing. I want you to invite some family and excuse me, some more family and friends to this particular broadcast because you're going to really enjoy the dinner tonight. I guarantee you will. And what are we having for dinner? What are we having for dinner? We having some good soul food as usual, my brothers and sisters. If this is your first time watching this broadcast, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I talk about relationships. When I talk about relationships, my brothers and sisters, I talk about relationships pertaining to a man and a woman that should be focused on being serious. That man and woman should focus on being committed to the relationship, not only committed by just thinking they committed, but they have to know that they're committed and move towards a covenant relationship. So when it comes to a relationship, my brother and sister, that man and woman needs to be serious minded, move to the commitment, and after the commitment, that man and woman should move to the covenant part of relationship by by way of God's how God would like for it to be. Okay, always think about it. God always want a man and woman to cross those three hurdles. Okay. Now, as I say, if this is your first time watching this particular broadcast, I would like for you to know where I come from. And I would like for you to stay here and have some of this good soul food. God originally, my brothers and sisters, he had a unique relationship with the man Adam first. Secondly, he had a unique relationship with the woman Eve. Thirdly, he represented the woman Eve to Adam. And at that particular time, Adam said in the presence of God, he said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call her woman because she came from man. So that's the position where I come from, my brothers and sisters. I believe strong in a relationship, how God started the relationship off in the Garden of Eden. When you look in the Bible, it's the book of Genesis. Okay. Now, if you have another version of a relationship that you think a man and woman should be in, you have what is called a free will. You can do whatever you choose to do, my brother and sister, but I would prefer that you still stay here and get some of this good soul food because tonight's topic, you're going to be filled before you leave so you can understand what I am talking about when it comes about a relationship between a man and a woman. With that said, my brother and sister, tonight's topic is men do this when she pulls away or act distant. Men do this when she pulls away or act distant. When I say men, what type of men am I talking about? I'm talking about a man that's in a serious, a man that's in a committed, and a man that's should be moving towards a covenant relationship, that's being engaged, or a man that's married. So these are the men that I'm talking about. And when I talk about these men, I'm particularly talking about you brothers. How you doing, Sister Monica, and how you doing, Sister Ingrid? You have came to the dinner table. How you doing? And anyone else that's out there, come on in because we got some of this good soul food tonight, my brother and sister. And if you want to say anything during this broadcast, by all means, my brother and sister, you can say whatever you choose to say, but be very, very respectful. And if there are any question that you would like to put out there during the broadcast, and if I can get to it, I will get to it. How you doing, mother? My mother have showed up for dinner tonight. And how you doing, mother? I hope that you're doing well. So we're about to get into it. Now, again, tonight's topic is men do this when she pulls away or at distance. So what do I mean by when a woman pulls away or when she act distant? When a woman pulls away or act distant, a man that's really in tune with his woman, he should be able to detect that there possibly is a problem. Most men would think that they are the problem, but sometimes, brother, you might not be the problem. And then on the other hand, you can be the problem. Now, let's start with this fact. All you brothers out there, when I said brother, I'm talking about those of you that are following Christ. I'm not talking to the worldly men, because when I talk to you, my brother, a lot of the things that I say, the worldly men are not going to accept what I say, okay? So this is specifically for a lot of you are brothers that follow Jesus, okay? And then you sisters you listen up to, because it's something that I need to impart in you so you can understand where I'm coming from when I try to tell some of my brothers how to view you and how to treat you, okay? Now, there's one thing I want you brothers and sisters to be aware of, especially you brothers. Let's start with this one fact. The fact that we're going to start with is the fact that a woman is not a man. I know some of you saying, well, Tony, it didn't take no genius to know that, but let me tell you this, my brother and sister. Some men, they get confused about what a woman is, as well as some women get confused about what a man is. But we are going to establish a fact, brothers, that a woman is not a man. A woman can never know what it's like to be a man. Neither can a man know exactly what it's like to be a woman. A woman, she can guesstimate. Guess what I say? She can guesstimate what a man going through or how a man think. But she going by her feeling. And a man could guesstimate how a woman is feeling. He thinks how she feel, but he doesn't know. Now, since a woman follow her heart, women follow their hearts, brothers. Sister, men follow their minds. We all have a soul. Let's establish that. The soul is composed of the mind, the will, and the emotions. Every man and every woman got a soul. Okay, how you doing, Sister Flo Harvey Martin? Welcome to the dinner table. So therefore, a woman is mostly led by what? Her feelings. Let's get that established, brothers. A woman is led basically by her feelings. If a woman is basically led by her feeling, which means her heart, you don't know how a woman really is, because she's led by her heart. Brothers, men are analytical. Women are not analytical. Women move based on how they feel. I always say this. Women move on based on how they feel. Some of you men, you trying to logically think a woman should move this way, but women don't move according to the logic of a man. And sister, men don't move according to the feelings of a woman. But this is more directed to you brothers. A woman follow her heart, which means that she is emotional. So if she is emotional, let's define what emotional really means. When we look in the dictionary, my brothers, when we look in the dictionary, my sister, the emotional is defined as having feelings that are easily excited and openly displayed. Or to say it differently, having and expressing strong feelings. Most of the time, men are reserved in their emotions. Most of the time, men are, now there's some men that are more emotional than others, but most of the time, men try to hold on to the emotion, or as I would say, put on the poker face, okay? Women, on the other hand, they are emotional. So, brother, you cannot put a woman in a position or trying to cap her feelings, because she is going to express her feeling. That's how God created the woman. How you doing, Sister Kirkpatrick? Welcome to the dinner table. Sister Kirkpatrick, glad I didn't miss the teaching. No, sister, no, your sister, we're just getting into it. And we'll talk about men do this when she pulls away or act distant. Now, since the woman go by her feeling, brothers, I'm going to go to God's word. And this is specifically for a man that is married. And it also for you guys that are single, that you are moving to the engagement period with the woman. Hopefully you're serious with the woman. So we're going to put a part out there from God's word. And it comes from 1 Peter 3:7. 1 Peter 3:7. 1 Peter 3:7. Welcome to the dinner table, Sister Yolanda Douglas. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, when we look at God's word, it's basically talking specifically to a man that's in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship. It says in God's word, husbands, in the same way, be considerate. What does that mean? Understanding. How you doing, Sister Bless? And how you doing, Sister Sherry E. Smith? Now, in the same way, a husband is supposed to be considerate and understand your wives, and to treat them with respect, or to say it differently, honor the woman as the weaker vessel, as she is an heir with you to the grace of life, so that nothing will hinder your prayers. Okay, so brother, if you're going to deal with a woman and you're planning on getting married to the woman, you are you treading some serious grounds, okay? When you decide to marry a woman, you take on a whole lot of responsibilities when it comes to a woman. Now, you brothers that follow Christ, when I say brothers, remember I say this not no black thing. When I say brother, as long as you believe in Christ, it'll go over different races and all kinds of backgrounds. So if you'll follow Christ, this message is directed towards you, brother. How you doing, Sister Mary? Welcome to tonight's dinner table. So, brother, if you are a husband, and those of you that are planning on being in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship with a woman, you got to get in your mind, when it comes to a woman, you have to treat them with consideration, and you have to understand that woman. You can't do it on your own, brothers. There's no way a man could be very considerate and understanding of a woman to the core. The only way a man could be master being more considerate and understanding to a woman, it all link up to his relationship with God. You see, God, brothers, as you know, created everything. And he created the woman. She was the last creation on the 6th day. She was the cherry on top of God's creation. She was the period on God's creation, okay? She ended creation, the woman. God created the woman. So when God created the woman, brother, he specifically created the woman for the man, to help the man, to be the man's helpmate. So you got to understand it, brother. That's why you should not mistreat a woman, because you are in a partnership when it comes to a woman. You understand? You are in a partnership when it comes to a woman. So when you treat her with understanding, you also have to be very respectful to the woman. You have to be very careful how you speak to her and how you treat her. Because when it comes to communications, we have what is called verbal communication and non-verbal communication. Verbal communication is the spoken word that comes out of your mouth. Non-verbal is your actions. It's a saying that actions speak louder than words. Your words and your actions should match up. Whatever you say to your woman, brother, not other men's women, whenever you say to your woman, you have to match it up with your actions. Because whatever you say to a woman, you better believe she's going to remember it. And she will call you on it. If you commit to a woman, she's gonna bring it. She might not bring it up right then, but eventually she's gonna bring it up. Because you know what she's gonna say? You said this. You see, when it comes to a woman, brother, you have to be very dependable. Your word to a woman is your bond to her. In order for a woman to trust you, she have to see that you have integrity in you. She have to feel like whatever he tell me, he's going to go through it. I don't have to keep pushing him or keep saying things to him, because some of you, brother, if you do not go by what you say, that woman, she's not going to feel secure. Because you see, you understand this, women, they want to feel secure. Not only do they want to feel secure, they want to know that they're secure. Because the very most important thing, brother, you have to have the mindset of causing that woman in your life hard to smile. If you cause her hard to smile, it's going to show up on her face. Your mission, brother, when it comes to a woman, when God gives you your purpose and you understand your purpose and your gift, and when God brings a woman to you and God let you know through your discernment that she's the one, you have to bring that woman in. You have to explain to her the purpose that God have given to you so she could be a partaker of it. Like I always say, when it comes to a woman, women multiply things. Women multiply. Whatever you give a woman, she's going to multiply. If you give her a physical seed, she's going to more than likely produce offspring for you. If you give her your vision, she's going to cause she's going to be used to expand your vision. But she has to depend on you, and she has to see you as a leader and the head of the relationship. That woman has to know that you follow Jesus. If that woman know that you follow Jesus, she's going to see that you are a humble man, yet strong. She's going to understand your priority in life. Now, when you come up short on some things, this is what can cause the woman to pull away, or she can get distant with you. Okay? You don't want your woman to pull away from you, and you do not want her to become distant from you. Remember, a woman goes by her feelings. Brothers, as well as sisters, there are no written books or any form of media, and more importantly, there isn't one man on God's green earth, and I have said this before, that truly know the ways of a woman. Not one man, unless he possessed the Spirit of God. That's the only way a man could really understand and consider a woman. And that's the only way a man can understand the purpose of a woman in his life. God has to be in that man's life. You see, brother, when God created the woman, he did not create her to be your gopher. Go do this, go do that. He did not create the woman for that particular reason. And you have to understand it, brother. This is not no beat down on brothers, but brother, you got to understand God created you to be the head and leader of the relationship. So therefore, God holds a man more responsible in the relationship than he does a woman. Now, a woman has to be accountable, but God holds a man more responsible in a relationship than a woman. So I'm telling you, brother, There's no books you can read. There's no form of media. There's no other man can tell you the truly ways of a woman. The only way you're going to understand a woman, brother, I'm telling you, you have to have a relationship with Jesus. And when you have a relationship with Jesus, Jesus is going to equip you on how to be able to communicate effectively with that woman, verbally and non-verbally. You need the Lord, because see, the Lord created that woman that he brings into your life that you find. So when the Lord handpick a woman for you, I talk about you Christian brother, and if it's a Christian woman, God going to handpick and he's going to put you together. Even when God put a man and woman together, we got to understand that there are no perfect men and there are no perfect women, but there can be a right man and a right woman for one another. That man and that woman, brother, you got to understand, when God bring this woman to you, you have to be on point when you're dealing with a woman. Women, we cannot behave the same way with a woman as we do with a man. We could talk to a man a certain way and they could take it. Women aren't built like that. Women internalize things, whereas you could talk to a man in a respectful way, but you could be very, very stern with another man, but he won't take it to heart. Most of them will not. They'll mostly just listen to what you say, and they won't get emotional about it. But you see, you cannot do that with a woman. You can't talk to a woman and you can't treat a woman the same way as you do a man. That's where a lot of you guys messed up. And when I say a lot of you guys, I'm even talking about some of my brothers that follow Christ. You mess up. I mean, you totally mess up when you think a woman function the way of a man. They do not. That's why you have to understand, you have to have the Spirit of the Lord to understand a woman, so whereas she will not pull away from you or she act distant. Now, we're going to make some points on this. In order to prevent a woman from really pulling away from you and getting away from you, number one, you got to give her a private audience. What do I mean? You have to give her a private audience. When we go to Luke chapter 12, 7. That's Luke chapter 12, 7. Luke chapter 12, verse 7. Now, Jesus is doing the talking, and this is a pattern, okay? Take this in mind. This is a pattern. Indeed, said Jesus, indeed, the very hairs on your head are all numbered. Don't be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows. You see how important humanity is to Jesus. But we're going to use this as far as a man, how much he should know a woman. Now the question, brother, how well do you know your woman? You have to ask yourself this question. Jesus said, in the very hairs on your head are all numbered. So what is Jesus saying? Jesus is saying, I know you that thoroughly. So, brother, you have to know your woman thoroughly. You might can't count all the strings on her head, but that is an example. You have to learn your woman. And in order to learn your woman, brother, you have to invest time in her. After your time with God, and the next person that you have to invest a lot of time is your woman before your children and other relationships. I'm going to say that again, brother. After your relationship with God and after your private outing with God, the second person that you have to look at is your woman. That woman that you are engaged to, about to get married to, or you are married. Notice what I said, engaged to, and you're about to get married, you got a date, or you already married to her. If you just got a woman that you have not put a title on the relationship, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to men that are serious about the relationship with a woman. So the man needs to be serious, committed, and move towards the covenant part of the relationship. Brother, you have to know that woman thoroughly. And when you had that private outing with you, that's when you learn about that woman pattern and behavior. Because women, and as well as you, brother, you have what is called a pattern and behavior. You have to learn her pattern and behavior thoroughly. In order to do that, brother, you have to study her. Just like you going to school, when you have a woman, you are in class every day. You said when you walked across the stage and got your degree, right? Or your diploma, right? You thought it was all over with, right? When you graduate, when you walk across the stage. When you get a woman in your life, brother, you are still in school. Class is in session. You have to study her. Just like you study the word of God and his ways, you have to learn her ways. You got to get down her pattern and behavior. If you ignore that woman pattern and behavior, because women love attention. Your woman, brother, she wants more attention from you than any other man. She wants you to encourage her. You understand? She looking for an encouragement word. And this what defeat a lot of guys. This what cause a woman to pull back or act distant when you don't uplift her and encourage her and give her direction and leadership. Because women, they are made to follow you, brother. If a woman is married to you, brother, she is equipped to follow you as long as you go on the right way, not the wrong way. Because she wants to feel good majority of the time. If a woman have a problem, you should not be her problem, brothers. Another man should never be her problem. Another woman shouldn't be her problem. If there's a problem, it needs to be outside your home. Your home, brother, is where peace is supposed to be, not confusion. Remember, God is he's the author of peace, not confusion. So your woman that you have with you, you have to make sure that you plant in her a sense of peace, comfort, and security. You don't want her feeling fragile. You don't want her walking around wondering, is this your last day at the house? Are they going to come and throw you out the house? Do you have enough food? Do you have clothing? Do you have the necessities of life? You have to, brother, you have to walk the way as the Lord walked. You see, you have to be very mindful of the woman. Like I said, they love attention. And you have to give her attention. If you do not, you going into an area where her pattern and behavior eventually going to change. Because if you don't give a woman your attention, women will talk. Remember I said they are emotional. So they're going to feel like they got to talk to someone. You will prefer that they come talk to you. But if they don't feel like they can talk to you, they're going to talk to someone else, brother. So a lot of you, brother, you want your woman to keep things in house, right? You really want her to keep things in house. So if you want your woman to keep things in house, you have to be very attentive to her so she could feel like she could come to talk to you. You don't want her to feel like she has to go outside the home and talk to other people, because anything that happens in your home, brother, realistically, it should stay in your home. But if your woman doesn't feel that she can communicate with you effectively, she's going to feel compelled to talk to somebody or people. Those that are close to her, that's probably where she's going to go further. She may have a girlfriend. If she have a sense of trouble, she's going to be looking for comfort. So more than likely, she's going to go talk to her girlfriend or the women of her family or something like that. She's going to talk to somebody. You don't want her talking to other women, Because if she talks to other women can influence your woman, especially if they are ungodly. They could give her some wrong advice. And when they give her some wrong advice, she may take that advice and you wondering why she behaving the way that she's behaving. How you doing, Brandon? Brandon, how you doing, brother Brandon? How you doing? How you doing, brother Swagger D? So I'm telling you, you don't want her getting advice from her girlfriend. Because let me tell you this, brother, a lot of time when women have girlfriend, let's say your woman have a secure relationship. She might have some girlfriend that are haters. And they was waiting for the opportunity to jump in on your woman and tell her what they really think about you. Your woman could at one time been saying how great you are, a good man, but then something started changing. You want being the man that she met. You see, when you met the woman, brother, wherever you started, you supposed to grow from it. You're supposed to go north. You don't supposed to go south. Because you going to change, brother. She's going to change. Okay? That's going to happen. But you want to change for the better. If you do not give her attention, I'm telling you, there's not one woman exempted from what I'm saying. You don't want nobody in your business, you better show her attention. If she does talk about you, you want her to say positive things about you. You don't want her going behind your back saying negative things, because believe me, they're going to tell somebody. They're going to tell somebody whether you're good to her or you're not good. So don't think she's going to keep all of it to herself. She can't do it because she's emotional. Like my wife, Cinderella, she is emotional. I know that she probably telling people how I treat her. I know she does it. But I'd rather for her to tell people that I treat her in a understanding and considerate way, and I'm careful how I talk to her, and I'm careful how I treat her. I want that to be said. I'm not trying to get no brownie points from the world, but you see, I represent Christ. If I represent Christ, my wife is looking at me. She wants to see Christ in me. If Christ is in me, she wants to see that I'm a leader in this relationship. She wants to see that I will communicate with her in a positive way, and I don't call her names, and I say things to break her spirit. Because I have to be extremely careful how I talk to my wife. And like, brother, you have to be very careful how you talk to the woman in your life, because your words, as the Bible say, and they go for everybody, your words have the power of life and death on your tongue. The Bible even said in James, the tongue is unruly. It said that the tongue, no man could tame or train the tongue. That's just how powerful your tongue is. This little thing in your mouth is powerful. It got a whole lot of power. Your word got so much power because, bro, you got to understand this. You were made in the image and glory of God. And you know, brother, like say for example, let's say that you are in management position at your job or whatever. Whatever you tell the people that are up under you, they go by your word. That's just how powerful your word is. If you have children, brothers, and you tell your children something and they behave in the right way, your words have power. They know that daddy is not playing. Your words have power when it comes to your woman. How you doing, Sister Cynthia? Welcome to the dinner table. How you doing, Sister Rhonda? Welcome to the dinner table. Sister Rhonda said, he's telling the truth. If we women got something on our mind, we're going to talk to somebody about it. You see, Sister Rhonda know I'm telling the truth. And all these sisters that are looking at their broadcast right now, in real time, and though they're going to look at this show after I get off air, they would tell you that they got to talk to someone. Don't ever think that a woman gonna cry to you about herself. She's gonna cry to you about herself eventually, but guess what? She's gonna share her experience with someone else because she's looking for comfort. She's emotional. Whereas a lot of men, we can go somewhere and we could cry in the door. A lot of times we don't tell people what's going on with us. As you know, I have used this illustration before, brother. A lot of times, brother, if we share what's going on with a man, you know what men say? Men will say something like, a man would listen to you. You see, women have support. In general, men don't have a lot of support. They may have some boys, but they might have one man that just like Jonathan was to King David. There are not many Jonathans out there. And GB said, and if you have a problem with your man, go to him only. Amen to that. So according to what GB said, that's how you want it to be. You want her to be able to come to you and talk with you. You don't want her to feel like she can't talk to you. Now, let me tell you how women would do it before they start pulling away and they act distant. Some women, they will come talk to you. Majority of them, they will come talk to you and see, and they trying to convey to you what's going on in their hearts. And then when a woman come to you and say what's going on in her heart, how you doing, Sister Greta Campbell? Welcome to the dinner table. Greta said, what is being served on the menu tonight? The topic, sister, is men do this when she pulls away or act distant. That's what meal we having tonight, sister. So, brother, when she comes talk to you, you supposed to listen to her. Whatever you got going on, even if you're looking at your favorite team. For example, in football, I love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I love them. Just say that the game is tight and Tom Brady is going down the field and the game is tight, 2 minutes. And lo and behold, let's say Cinderella, at that time, she want to talk. Do I still look at Tom Brady and tell her, well, I'll talk to her later? Or do I listen to my wife? How you doing, Natasha? I put it this way. My flesh would say, look at Tom Brady. My spirit would say, listen to your wife. Because it's going to be a battle between the spirit and the flesh when it comes to Tom Brady and those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I have to go with my spirit. I have to listen to her. Because let me tell you, dear brother, when a woman want to talk to you, it ain't about your time. It's about when she feel like talking. She know that you like what you're doing, but they go by their feelings. So she might talk to you at a time where you're not ready for it, but you got to make plans. That's why I tell you, brother, you got to be just like Jesus. You got to be available just like Jesus. Jesus run the world. Jesus run the universe, but yet he will pause to listen to us come talk to him. We rule our world that Jesus gave to us. Whatever God got us at in our purpose in life, we run that. But you run your little world that God put you in. You ain't got to be no preacher. You ain't got to be no elder, but wherever God put you at, you running your little world. And when your wife come talk to you, or those you that engage, I'm telling you, brother, stop just going with these women and just dating them. Put a title on it. You see, Beyonce say put a ring on it. But I'm telling you, put a title on it before you get the ring. Go ahead and tell that woman your intention for her. Don't have her hanging around just to be using her up and then discharge her when you want to go be with another woman or whatever. Don't do it, brother. Brother, you got a whole bunch of responsibility when it comes to a woman. They responsible too, but God hold a man more accountable in a relationship than a woman because we are analytical. You see, we don't go we know to make decisions not based on our feeling, but based on the facts that God shows us. Women don't operate that way. And a prime example, when you go back to the Garden of Eden, when Eve went by her feelings, that what got Eve, her feelings. Adam didn't go by his feeling when he did his part. The Bible clearly said that the woman was the seed, not the man. Satan knew not to go directly to Adam. He knew he couldn't go directly to Adam. He knew it. He studied Adam pattern and behavior. He studied Eve pattern behavior. He said, I'm gonna mess with God. They would say, I'm gonna mess with God. Now, how do I mess with God? How do I mess with God? Should I go directly to Adam? No, I can't get to him. But it's some kind of way I could get to him to mess with God. You see, Satan wanted to mess with God. It was bigger than Adam and Eve. He wanted to mess with God. He was playing chess with God, right? So he said, how can I get to God? I know how I do it. I can't get God. I can't get him directly through Adam. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the woman because she's emotional. Yes, she's perfect. But I know I can get her because I've been studying her. And I know if I say the right words, if I get in her ear and say the right words, and she's gonna listen to me. And when she listens to me, she's gonna get very emotional, and I'm gonna make this great appeal, but I'm not gonna tell her my real purpose. So then when I get her, she's gonna convince that man, and I get both of them. 2 birds with 1 stone. That was Satan's strategy. You understand that, brother? That was Satan's strategy, but you don't want that. You want to avoid Satan getting into your relationship. And this is another thing what happened. When you don't show attention to her, brothers, what's she going to do? She's going to get advice, and guess what? Satan know the women in her circle that he could work through. You understand? How you doing, brother Chris Baker? He knows. Brother Swagger D said, can you make a video about dating a single mother? It's kind of scared me a bit. Yes, brother, I would do that for you. I would do that for you, Dana, single mother. That'll be a hot topic right there. Let me see something right quick. I need to write that down. Dealing with a single, dating a single mother before, so I won't forget it. Hold on, brother. You got me. You breaking up my show, brother. But I got to address you. I got to address that topic. Hold on, let me write that down right quick so I can address it. I got it. All right. Next. Number 2. I know number 1 was real long, but number 2. Women in general. Listen to this, brother and sister. Women in general subconsciously think that a man can read their minds. Women in general subconsciously think that a man could read their minds. She may even think that since you're supposed to be the man, that you should know how she feel. I'm going to say that again. Most women generally think that a man can read their mind on a subconscious level. And not only that, they think this too. They think that since you're a man, you're supposed to know what's going on. Sisters, let me give you some understanding. How you doing, Sister Mara? How you doing? And I hope that your husband could listen to this too. But and Sister Jessica, how you doing? Let me tell you, sister, listen to me. Please listen to this, sister. I have to pause here again. Sisters, a man cannot read your mind. He cannot read your mind. I know you think that we're great, but we can't read your mind, sisters. We can't. There's no way a man can read your mind. And brothers, there's no way she could read your mind. The only one that could read the minds is God himself. Only God could read the heart of a man and a woman. He don't have that skill, sister. A man doesn't have that skill. Let me also tell you this, sisters. When men are born into this world, he does not come into this world with a manual of or go to class, study a woman, class 101. There's no classes that teach a man how to engage with a woman. There's no books. Like I said, there are no books. There's no video. There's no nothing that could educate a man how to love a woman how she needs to be loved. The only book that's out there is God's word himself. I know some of you people, brother, you listen to some of these guys that call themselves relationship coaches, and some of you listen to women that call themselves a relationship coach. You got brothers telling you got men telling you how you should treat a woman, and she would do this, that. If you do this, she'll do that. These type of guys, they teach you in an underhanded way how to manipulate a woman. That's their strategy, how to manipulate a woman. They'll say stupid stuff like, if she called you, don't answer the phone right then. You want her to think that you busy. And you hear her, and you see her number on there, and they telling you don't pick up the phone right then. If she texts you, don't respond right then. You see, a lot of these relationship coaches, they teach you how to mess with a woman's mind. Worldly men, they teach that kind of crap. That's right, it's called red pill. That's a bunch of crap. Don't listen to these guys. And then some of you, it's sad to say, some of you Christian brothers, you will support these guys, these red pill guys. Don't listen to that crap. They just teach you how to manipulate a woman. And majority of them teach you how to manipulate a woman without investing yourself into her. They teach you how to extract from a woman, basically how to get in the bed with her and discharge it. That's what they teach you. But what they don't tell, but what the relationship coaches will not tell you is that they don't want nobody doing their mama like that. They don't want their daddy doing that, especially another man if their dad in the picture. They don't want another man mistreating they won't tell this man that mess with their mama how to manipulate their mama. They won't tell you, brother. They won't tell other guys how to manipulate their sisters, their blood sisters. And they definitely ain't going to tell other guys, a young man, how to manipulate his daughter. You see, a lot of these guys, they're counterfeits. They're counterfeit. Anytime you hear men telling you that crap that called the red pill, that's what it is. They need to get, if they're going to tell you anything, they need to tell you something based on thus says the Lord. Not that worldly stuff. If you go by that worldly stuff, you're going to have problem with a woman. And guess what? The Bible clearly say whatever you sow, you reap. If you treat women bad, guess what? You're going to meet a woman, and when you meet this woman, you're going to be head over heels with her, right? But that woman that you be head over heels with, she going to come with the stuff, and she going to show you how it's done. And you're going to get butt hurt. That's what's going to happen. You're going to get butt hurt because you've been manipulating all these other women in the past based on the relationship culture. Don't listen to that crap. If they can't tell you how to treat a woman from God's perspective, because you got to understand it, brother, it's deep. God created a woman like he created you. And I'm telling you, you got to treat these women, especially your wife. Especially your wife, and I'm going back to what I said earlier from Peter. In 1 Peter 3:7, 1 Peter 3:7, 1 Peter 3:7, it said, husband, in the same way, be considerate or understanding with your wife and treat them with respect as the weaker party or partner and they are heirs with you of the gracious gift of life, so that nothing will hinder your prayer. You see, brother, when you mess with a woman, it ain't all a woman. You dealing with God. If you marry a woman, especially if God handpicked the woman for you and you misuse her and you think things are going wrong with you, that's God. You praying to God to get a job and all that kind of stuff still start happening to you because you treating that woman, you disrespecting her. And God gonna light you up. And you're gonna wonder why all this stuff happening to me. You're gonna be praying to God, and God is not gonna do nothing but look at you. God gonna say, when you get some sense and know how to treat her, I might listen to you then. So many men, they miss out on a whole bunch of opportunity, especially if you're married to a woman that God handpicked for you. So you mistreat her, you think God gonna let that slide? He not gonna let that slide. Sister Mara said, what about when you communicate, but he choose to do whatever he wants? Sister Mara, let me tell you this. He got a free will. He has a free will. God gave all of us a free will. If he want to do what he want to do, sister, let him do him. He got the answer to God. Don't put yourself in God's place, sister. Let God handle that. Just move back. You don't want that lightning bolt to hit you. Just move back and let God take care of it. GB said, how do women stop being manipulated in ways they can't see? Should the man help her see? Yes, women, the same thing go for you. Stop trying to manipulate men. GB, I got a section that coming up shortly on this particular broadcast when I get to that kind of stuff. So hold tight. I'm going to get to it. I'm glad you brought it. I'm going to get to it. I got some points to make on that. Again, some of you sisters, you got to understand, men don't come with manual. And a lot of guys that be telling other guys how to treat women, they fascinates me. When I be saying, I try to be analytical and I try to go to the source, right? I be wondering where does this guy get his information from? And I be listening. I said, he not saying nothing about God. He's talking about all that word stuff and he feeding that crap to other men. Brother Brandon said, as a divorced man, I look back and regret the times I pushed away my ex-wife and didn't want to listen to her. Yeah, brother, that can happen. When you don't give them time, that kind of stuff can happen. Hey, but guess what? God is still in control, and he might still have a ram in the bush for you. So don't give up, brother. At least, brother, you know, brother. And let me tell you this. I need to tell some of you brothers and sisters this. When I call out some people's name while I'm talking, some people are looking at me from the book, and some people are looking at me from the tube. So if you're on the book, you might not see what the people on the tube are saying. And those of you on the tube, you may not see what the people on the book saying to me. So I want you all to understand that I'm talking on two different platforms. Sister Rhonda said, yes, GB, most of the time we do a lot of manipulating things because of what our role model, and when someone show us what we doing wrong, most of the time we stop as life goes on, we get older. Yeah, that's right, sisters. Thank you. You made a point there. But anyway, let me tell you, we cannot read mind. Even Solomon was not able to read the mind of those women that he dealt with. He couldn't read it. And Solomon was the wisest man to ever live beside Jesus. And he did not know how to treat women. If he knew how to treat women, he wouldn't have had 1,000 women. Think about that. How you gonna have 1,000 women and you dealing with different thoughts and all that kind of stuff? And and she want this and she want that. You ain't spending time with me. You spending too much time with her. Woo, that had to be a headache. 1,000 women, 700 wives, and 300 like concubines and stuff. Side women. But Solomon learned through experience, and not only did he learn from experience, he had to get bit to understand. God had to let him get bit to understand what was going on. Number 3, when a man discerns that something is wrong and is not going normal with his woman, which goes back to pattern and behavior, you got to know your woman. Just like the Lord know the number of hairs on your head, you might not know the number of hairs on your woman's head, but you got to know her thoroughly. And in order to know her thoroughly, you got to have that time with her. You got to communicate with her and to able to understand. You got to look at her as she's a woman and she operating on that gasoline that's called emotion. That high octane emotion. That's what you got to understand. Now, again, a woman, she has a pattern and behavior. If you have a good relationship with that woman, you would know when she's going to let off course. If you can't catch it when she's going off course, she's going to be wondering. This is what women are going to be wondering. If he know me so well, why he can't pick up on something wrong with me? That's what they be thinking. No, not what they be thinking. That's what they be feeling. If he claimed that he loved me so much, why he can't tell that something going on with me? Why he can't tell? Pattern and behavior. Let me give you an example. If I leave out the home, most of the time when I leave out the home and I come back, my wife Cinderella, I'm not saying she the best wife in the world, but she the best wife for me. When I come in the house, she basically always greet me with a smile. How you doing, brother Keith? She basically always greet me with a smile. If I come in the house and she does not greet me with a smile, that means something is up. You know why I know that? Because it's pattern and behavior. When I come in, majority of the time she gonna be smiling at me, and majority of the time she gonna say something to me. Now, if she doesn't smile, something wrong. If she doesn't smile and talk to me, something's still wrong. So what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to know my wife so much that, and let me tell you something, brothers. Check this out. You know, most of the time when you ask a woman what's wrong with your woman, you know they mostly say, this they go to, nothing wrong. I'm all right. And you know nothing ain't all right. You know it. Let me tell you something, brother. Whenever a woman say nothing, don't believe that crap. Don't believe it. They don't even believe it. Don't believe it. When a woman said nothing, that's a key word. Nothing. It is something. When a woman tell you nothing, now she wants to see what you're going to do. Are you going to really try to find out what she's going to do, or you're going to take it at face value? Let's say, for example, I come home and Cinderella I said, you okay? Because you see, she going off her pattern behavior. And I said, you okay? And let's say she said, I'm okay, nothing. What if I just took her at face value? How you doing, Sister Teresa? Welcome to the Delta. What if I just took Cinderella at face value and she said nothing? And I just go on and go to another room. You know what she's gonna say? She's gonna think, he really don't care. Now you see, a worldly man will say this if it comes back around. Now let's just say Cinderella come where I'm at and she say, You don't even care, do you? And then I turn around and say, what you mean I don't care? When I came in, I asked you what was wrong and you said nothing. And then she's going to say, you're not considerate. I thought you loved me. That's how women are. You got to read between the lines. Because if you don't read between the lines, you, brother, have put yourself in a bad position. She might not be pissed off at you, but now she pissed off at you. Or she can be pissed off at you and she get more pissed off on you. Let me tell you this, brother. When a woman tell you nothing or I'm all right, take it like this. She's not being forthcoming with me. I'm not saying she's not lying. Just say, she's not being forthcoming. She's not, just throw your eyebrows up and say, she's not being forthcoming with me. I need to do some Sherlock Holmes stuff, and I need to do some investigation because she wants me to investigate. So now I got to put on my Sherlock hat. I had to put on my Sherlock coat and hat, and I got to investigate. Where are you, Watson? That's what you got to do. So what do? When a woman say nothing, this is what you do. You say, nothing's wrong with you. No, nothing wrong. Okay. And don't tell her nothing like where you normally smile and you normally say something when I come in. Don't do that. What you do is you listen to her. You got two ears and one mouth. Listen. So when you say nothing wrong with you, nothing wrong. You sure? Nothing. Then you say, look, when you ready to talk to me. I'm here for you. Just talk to me. Remember, I'm here for you. There's nothing more important than you at this time but God now, okay? Just what you go ahead and say, God. Say, God is the most important thing in our lives, but you are the most important person to me after God. And you leave it to her. You said, when you ready to talk, come talk to me. And if she don't talk right then, you go back, you circle around, and you say, are you ready to talk? If she ain't ready to talk, don't force it on her. The next thing you do, go and hold her. Hold her. If she not ready to talk, whatever you got to do, go to the bathroom, whatever. You come back, you sit down and hold her. Sometimes, brother, if you hold up your woman, she will start talking. Just hold her. And then that will prompt her sometimes to start talking. How you doing, Sister Jessica? Believe me, it works. You're not trying to manipulate her, but you want to see what's going on because that's your woman. Another thing, give her space. If she asks for it, if she say, I don't want to, if she be, now some women say, look, I don't want to talk about it right now. I'll talk about it later. When she say that, give her space. Even though you give her space, you still could go up, you still could say the same thing. If it's anything you want to talk about, let's talk. And still hold her or kiss on her cheek or her forehead and say, whatever it is, it's going to be all right. Just reassure her, whatever it is, it's going to be all right. So after that, you check up on her. Keep checking up on her, checking up to see if she's ready to talk. And then remember this, always love her. Don't put her in a place where she have to feel defensive. GB said, do real men really like us unload this way? Well, hopefully, brother, some of our Christian brothers do that way. Now, Breaking news, my brothers and sisters, some breaking news. I'm from the station GOD, and this is some breaking news. You brothers, you need to be aware of this. At some point in your relationship, that woman that you love, that woman that you cherish, that woman that you praise after God, guess what? Remember, she's a woman. Remember, she's emotional. This is the flip side of the coin. She going to eventually test your boundaries, and she going to see, do you believe in happy wife, happy life? This may be done on purpose. Listen to what I'm saying again, brother. On the flip side of the coin, you need to be aware of this. Sometime in the course of your relationship, that woman that you love, your darling poo-poo, like in my case, Cinderella, she gonna test you. She going to test you to see, are you really who you are? And you might think it's nonsense. You might think, oh, this is a woman thing. She crazy. They're gonna test you. They're gonna test you for your boundaries, and some more stuff. I got a few points to make. This is what I mean. You could love a woman up to the point of giving your life to her, brothers. But remember, she is never number one in your life. It's God. Always remember that, brother. You could love your woman to the point of giving up your life, but she is never number one in your life. That position belongs to God. Her position is number 2, not 3, 4, 5. And likewise, sister, your position is his position in your life is number 2, and God is your number 1. But we're talking to these brothers. Brothers, that's right, Brother Brandon. Never put your woman first. If you put your woman first before God, you're going to have some major problems. Don't ever do it. Which leads to number 2. What is number 2? Never be a yes man. Woo! Never be a yes man. What that mean? It goes to the false doctrine of happy wife, happy life. Don't believe in that crap, happy wife, happy life. Look what happened to Adam. What happened to Adam? He chose to make Eve happy and disappoint God. When Eve did what she did, nothing happened. When Adam made a decision, Adam was not going by his feeling when he made a decision. Adam was making a choice between God and that woman. He was trying to make that woman happy before God. What did God tell Adam? Because you listen to your wife. And guess what? Just like Brother Brown said, she will walk all over you. You got to learn to say no. Adam had a decision to make between God and Eve. Adam should have said, no, woman. Just like Job told his wife, when everything was taken from Job, his own wife that he loved, this woman came to Job and said, you still worshiping God and all this stuff happened? Why don't you curse God and die? What else you got to live for? You done lost the wealth. You ain't got no friends. All our children dead. You got all those boils on from your head to your feet. You ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing. And you still want to worship that thing or that entity that called God? What about me? What about me? I'm your wife. What about me? I'm numero uno, Job. You know what Job said? You talk like a foolish woman. The Lord give it, the Lord take it away. Job was not a yes man. You have to have a backbone, brother, when it comes to your woman and God. It's better for your wife to shed tears than God to shed tears. Who you want to shed tears? Make your decision today. Choose life or death. You go with your wife, you're going to bust hell wide open. You go with God, you're going to get the glory land. That's what happened to some men. Some men believe in that thing, happy wife, happy life. No. You, brother, are responsible for the relationship. The woman is also accountable too, but God look at you first. Brother Brown says, Solomon said, give not thy strength unto women. Yes, that's in Proverbs. That's in Proverbs, that Proverb 31. When this king mama was giving him some advice, don't give your strength to women. You give your strength to God. She come in number 2. You understand? Your wife come in number 2. She never come in number 1. And sister, your man come number 2. Your husband, not your boyfriend. Your husband come number 2 after God. The Bible clearly say that God is the head of Christ. Christ is the head of man, and man is the head of the woman. That's the order. And like Brother GB said, a woman will respect a man who can lead. That's right, brother. The only way a man can lead, you got to understand the order. God, the head of Christ, Christ, the head of man, man, the head of woman. It does not say God is the head of Christ, Christ is the head of the woman, and the woman is the head of the man. It doesn't work that way. That's why some of you guys that are yes men, you're yes men. I see some of you all out to the mall, and this is going to break some of you brothers up. I see some of you out to the mall, you walking behind your wife holding her pocketbook. Why she can't hold her own pocketbook? Is anything wrong with it? That's her pocketbook. I can understand if she going in to try on a dress or something, but you walk around the mall holding her pocketbook. She telling you what to do. She can make suggestions. Let me tell you something. When you look at it from a royal standpoint, let's look at a king and a queen. There's a whole bunch of people around here saying kings and queens. They're like throwing that little title around. But let me tell you what a king and a queen really do. Well, let me tell you how a queen and a king operate. Everybody knows the king, and everybody knows the queen. When they come in together and when they approach the throne, she sits on the right hand of the king. That's his right hand woman. He sits down. Anything that goes on in the kingdom, they come to the king. And they tell the king what's going on. The king get advice from the queen because she's listening. He will get advice from the queen. Let's say this is a godly king. Unless his name is Ahab and his wife is called, what that treacherous woman name? Jezebel. Ahab, that weak back man. Ahab was the epitome of a yes man. Jezebel was running things. That don't work. It doesn't work. If you see a woman that's leading a king, you get a good sample of the Jezebel spirit. And you get a good example of a weak back Ahab man. A real man that is a son of God and a woman that's a daughter of God, they understand order because they're in the kingdom, right? Wherever God put that man and woman at there in a kingdom, the man make the final decision. The woman, she can advise the man. Longer is God, he could discern that God is speaking through his woman. That's why it's very important what woman a man gets. And like Sister Teresa said, Esther respect her king. She sure did. You know why Esther respected the king? Esther knew that she just could not walk up there when she got ready. She knew it. She respected the king. A real queen respect the king. She let the king make the final decision. She may come like Queen Esther. She brought some news to the king, what was going on. And he made the final decision to save the Jews. Esther was used as an instrument to help the Jews. You see, brother, if you're really a king and your woman really a queen, she's going to bring you information not only to help your little nest, she's going to do something to help promote God's kingdom, and she's going to be thinking about other people. That's what a real queen does. She think about other people. And I'm not trying to say my wife number one and stuff, but she number two to me. But let me tell you something, what Cinderella do. Let me tell you what Cinderella will do. We can be in a car. We could be in the car together. Let's say we're getting off the interstate. And she could see a homeless person. She will roll down her window. She'll go in her pocketbook and she will give. You see, she's not talking about this. She don't talk about, I'm talking about it. I have watched her, and she will give people money and stuff like that. We could even go like downtown or something like that, wherever we go at. She does not have a problem communicating with people that are strangers. You know what the Bible say? The Bible said in Hebrew, be not forgiven to entertain strangers, because some had entertained angels unawarely. You don't know, my brother, you don't know, my sister, whether that beggar is actually an angel camouflaged in a human suit. You don't know. That's what type of woman you need, brother. You need a woman that not only think about God, not only think about you, not only think about family, but people that can't help themselves. And you know another thing, brother, what you know when you got a good woman, how she treat people. Like, say, for example, if you go out to eat. There are some women that's so picky and they be running people, right? But if you got a woman that talk kind to people that wait on them and call them by their names and stuff like that, that's a good woman, because she care about people. She want that person to have a good day. You understand? That's what type of woman you need, because she's a queen. But back to what I'm saying. You're not a yes man. She knows that you're going to say one of these four things to her. She knows that when she comes to you, you're going to say yes. She knows that you might say not right now. She knows that you might say, I got something better. And she knows that you might say no. She don't know what answer she's going to get, but she will come ask you. It's not like you her daddy. Speaking of daddies, you know what? Most women, they look for a father figure, right? They look for a father figure. If you notice that a lot of women, they look for, even if they had their dad went into their life, most of the time they're looking for a father figure. And guess what? Guess what, brothers and sisters? Guess what? If you're a good man, you know what your wife might call you sometime? She might call you daddy. She might call you daddy sometime. But moving on. But anyway, number 3, never run after her. I'm talking about the test some women do. Never run after her. That's right, Brother Brandon. Daddy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Never run after her. What do I mean never run after her? I'm going to give you an example. If you have a disagreement and she decides to leave, Do not hold her back. Let her leave. She making a conscious decision to bounce. Now, if you haven't done anything and you know within your heart you haven't done nothing, and she started an argument. Now, let me be practical with some of your brothers and sisters. Let's say that your woman, she might be going through her cycle. You know how some women, they go through their cycles, right? They menstruation cycles, right? And sometimes it affects them emotionally, right? At that particular time, some women, they get very emotional. Or it could be other reasons. And then they want to start an argument, right? And when they start an argument, do not run after her if she said, I'm about to leave. I'm going to leave you. I could do all bad by myself. Then what you do? Oh, yeah. And then she might get in your face. She might put her hand on her hip and she put her chest out there and put, yeah, I could do bad all by myself. You think you all that? I could show you. And then you know what you say? Really? Really? You can do all that. Then you could say something like, it seems like you're going through some emotional turmoil. You need to get it together. When you get it together, let's have a silver talk. She might get pissed off then because you're talking rational. Which leads to this. Number 4, never fuss with a woman. You know why you don't never fuss with a woman? You will lose. Never fuss with a woman. She will beat you with words. Don't ever fuss with them. Never. You can have a disagreement, but brothers, I'm letting you know now, you will not win with a woman because what their biggest thing? I'm going to get that last word. I'm going to get the last word in. I'm going to show him. You think the argument over with, right, brother? You really think the argument over with? You think it's over with, and you go look at TV and she go in another room. Then she come back and here she come in on you again. Rhonda said, man that can't leave with a submissive wife is a power couple. A yes man and his whole house is a train wreck. Amen. And I don't want to mess with the name. I think this Nia Bryan is Niaea Bryan. If a woman leaves, it's because a man had mistreated her and put his hands on her. That is a yes and no. Sometimes, let's be realistic, that could be possible. And then it could be possible that she got another thing on the outside going on. So she want to start an argument to get to that outside action. So it could be any way. But if the man clearly knows that he's not doing something, sometime, and then Sister Rhonda said, holding a pocketbook. Yeah, there's a lot of them, Sister Rhonda. You be seeing them at the mall. They be walking behind. They be walking behind the woman holding the pocketbook like this. And she walking in front of him. She be walking in front of him. And let me tell you, sister, sometimes men do it too, but sometimes women start arguments to get to that other man. Men do it too, but women do it too. You know, that's why I say don't get into no arguments. You will lose. Number 5, you will have to make the final decision in the relationship. That goes back to king and queen. God hold you responsible, brother, in a relationship. If, let's say, for example, and I have used this before, let's say, for example, you living good on your income. Y'all living pretty good on your income. And I have used this illustration before. Let's say she wants to move to the north side of town and you know you can't afford it. Before you move to the north side of town, and I have said it before, you got time for God. You got time for your wife. You got time for little Johnny, because he's going to play football. You got a little time for little Taffy. She's doing her recital. You got time. Now, let's say you cave in to try to make her happy. And you move to the north side of town. You know you can't afford it, even with her money. You move to the north side of town. Now you got to work overtime. You got to get 2 or 3 jobs. And then that might mean that you can't go to public worship with her and your children. That might cut back on it, because they might say, I need you here at work. So you can't do that. So then it makes time. You know, when y'all had those date nights, you can't date. You can't date her that much like you used to. You remember when you used to go to the football game and basketball game for little Johnny? You can't do it. You got to work on Saturday. And then through the week, on Wednesday, on Thursday or something like that, little Taffy got a recital. Or now little Tiffany, she got a recital. And you can't go. But she used to playing her little piano or doing her little ballet stuff, and you can't be there. You be the first one to stand up when little Taffy or do her thing and she bow, and you be the first one clapping. She look out there. The only person that is out there is her mama and her little brother Johnny, because he would drag there. He didn't want to be there anyway, but he had to come because he ain't had no babysitter. And then her mama there, where your husband at? He working. He working. What's more important? His job or little Taffy or Tiffany? And then they get all in her ear. Then you get home, and then that's what she say to you. I'm not happy. You say, what? I'm not happy. You work too much. I what? You work too much. You used to then work out. You used to then work all those hours. When we were staying on the south side of town, you won't work. We went to worship together. We had date night. You went to the football game for little Johnny. You went to the recital for little Tiffany. You can't do none of that now. You don't love me anymore. You don't love us no more. We are family. Family come before jobs. And you said, what? I moved over here because you wanted to be like the Jeffersons. You want to move on up. Weezy. You want to move on up, Weezy. So we did like the Jeffersons. Well, if you did like the Jefferson, remember this. George had some stores, and George still was able to be home with us. George. So what am I saying? You make the final decision. It may be a hard decision, but hey, you got to make a decision for God and your family. Number 5, hold her accountable. If God hold you accountable, you got to hold her accountable. She represent you like you represent Christ. What she does out there in the public is going to affect you. If you got some positive things going on, brother, if you got some real positive things going on, people looking at you. Not only do they look at you, they look at your wife. For example, listen to this. When you look at the award shows, right? When you look at the award show, when they're walking down the red carpet, the men may have on the tux, and they may even wear some sneakers. They may wear some Nikes, right? But who do they focus on the most? They focus on that woman. She might not even be the star. For example, let's say Denzel Washington is walking down the red carpet and his wife walking with him. They said, there go Denzel. And then they're going to look at his wife and see how she dressed and how she acting. Don't let her come half-stepping on the news the next day when they had that fashion stuff. They're going to say, Did you see Denzel Washington's wife? She came to the award show looking like that. She knew where she was going. Don't she know who her husband is? That Denzel. And she coming half stepping. What I'm saying, brother, she represents you. And sisters, you have to understand, you represent your husband. Not only do you represent Christ, you represent your husband. And he's supposed to act right because he represents God. That's why the Bible clearly say that wives respect your husband. It tells the husband to love your wife, but it tells the wife to respect your husband. So, sister, whatever you're doing out there, you are accountable. You can't be living 2 and 3 lives out there and your man thinking you one way. That can go both ways now, brother. You can't be living all different ways and she think you living one way. You got to be somewhat consistent, okay? But sister, you are accountable for your relationship. If God is using your husband in some type of ministry, he doesn't have to be a preacher. He doesn't have to be no elder. But if he's using your husband in some type of ministry, he could be a basketball coach, a football coach. He could be a corporate man, but he's following Christ. You are accountable for the relationship. Let me tell you this. Most men that run Fortune 500 club, most of them got wives. They might not look like 10s, but they got wives. Let me give you a good example. Let's say the former president, Barack Obama and Michelle. This is a good example. This where a whole bunch of us, we can relate to this. Barack and Michelle. When you see Michelle, what did you think? Barack. That's the first thing you think. She is associated with Barack. If you noticed about Michelle, she was very conscious of how she portrayed herself in public. Because guess what? She is the wife of the president of the United States of America. And not only that, guess what Barack did? He was careful about what he did because he got a wife, Michelle. He did not want to admit. You see, Barack, he was accountable for the United States of America. He was accountable. Not only was he accountable to the United States of America, but he had a wife and he had some daughters. He had a legacy. His legacy is, I was the president of the United States, and I want to, and what I'm doing is going to affect my daughters down the road. It's not going to only affect my daughters down the road, it's going to affect my grandchildren and their children and their children. You understand? So Barack had the right woman. And guess what? When Barack got Michelle, listen to this. When Barack got Michelle, if you look at the movie, he was struggling. He was struggling. He had a car. Barack had a Fred Flintstone car. What do I mean by that? When you look at the Flintstone, you know how that hole down at the bottom. You remember how you seen Fred feet be on the ground and make the car go. Barack had a hole in his car down there by where the gas pedal and the stop, the brakes at. But Michelle got into a relationship with him when he wasn't even thinking about being no president. Just think about that. Barack wouldn't think about being no president. Barack would just think about being a lawyer. That's all he thought about, being a lawyer. But we know the rest of the story. Let's look at a younger version. Let's talk about LeBron James and his wife, Savannah. Savannah got with LeBron when he was little LeBron. He was not known. But she got with him She's seen greatness in him. Some people said, now she's seen some money in it. She's seen greatness in that man before he got real popular. She knew that he had some skills, but she didn't know how far those skills were going to take him. But we know LeBron got some skills, and not only does he have some skills on the basketball court, he got skills as far as the community goes. He cared about his reputation. He made boss moves because of his reputation. He think about his wife and his children. Does LeBron sin? Does Savannah sin? Does Obama sin? Does Michelle sin? Yes, they sin, and they have sinned, and they will sin, but they know how to keep it in-house. You think that their relationship goes smooth every day? No, it doesn't, because they're humans, but they're with the right person. You understand? They're with the right person. See, let me tell you something, brother, when it comes to a woman. When you don't have anything, when you don't have nothing, it for the younger brother, when you don't have anything, and when God brings the right woman into your life, when you find her, stick with that one. Stick with that one. When God is giving you the increase, stick with that particular woman. Because let me tell you something, brother. When you get with a woman when you don't have nothing, that means she loves you for who you are, not for what you have. She loves you for you. So when God gives you the increase, let me tell you what these other women would do, brother. Listen up. When God gives you the increase and God brought this good woman in your life, do not treat her wrong. Do not cast her out, because those other women, they want to get with you when they don't want to get with you because of who you are. They want to get with you for what you got. They want to shine. A lot of these outside women, brother, when you growing up and God is blessing you and stuff with this good woman, those other women, they don't want you. They want what you got. You see, your wife is shining. When God is raising you up, brother, your wife is going to get that shine, right? These other women, they going to envy the woman that God put in your life. They're going to envy her. They're going to get jealous of her. They're going to want to move her out of your way. Some of the other women, brother, they're going to try to test you to see if what you believe in and you talk about, they're going to test you. Don't be a fool. When God is increasing you, brother, guess what? Satan going to use other vices to derail you. He's going to try to take you off your focus and mess you up. When God brings a good woman to you, brother, stay with that woman. Will you have a problem? Yes, you will have problems. Are you going to go through some storms? Yes, you're going to go through some storms. But guess what? After every storm, the sun never went nowhere. When you go outside when it's raining real bad in the daytime, my brother and sister, it looked real gloomy, right? But guess what? The sun never went nowhere. The sun was still up in the sky. I'm going to give you a good example. If you have rode on a plane before or have ridden on a plane before, check this out. If you notice this, when the storm get bad, what will a pilot do? They will get above the clouds, right? At first, they'll be in the cloud and you'll feel some turbulence, right? So what do? They get above the clouds. And when they get above the clouds, it's bright and beautiful up there. You understand? It's bright and beautiful. You're going to notice the sun is still there. Even though the rain is coming from the clouds, the sun is still there. The sun never went nowhere. And that's what some people don't understand. When you go outside when it's raining hard and stuff like that, the sun never goes nowhere. It's still up there. It's still shining bright. And that's what some of you brothers and sisters need to understand. Men, do this and she will pull away or act distant. Do this when she pulls away or act distant. All you have to do, brother, is very simple. Have a good relationship with the Lord. Pray to the Lord that he give you the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, discernment, how to treat her, how to talk to her, how to understand her, how to respect her. And then while the Lord is working in you, brothers, she's going to see it. And guess what, brothers? When you with a good woman, you're going to discover, and sometimes you might tell her, look, I have discovered a deeper love for you. And she might say, look, I have discovered a deeper love for you too. And it's not all physical. It's a genuine love that God calls a man and woman have when they both walking on the same road. And you got to understand it, my brothers. And you got to understand it, my sisters. Brothers, men, do this when she pulls away or at distance. Listen to her. Pay attention to her. First of all, pay attention. Listen to her. Encourage her. Hold her. Make her feel secure. Cause her heart to smile. When you cause her heart to smile, you're going to see a smile on your face. You, brother, you are a servant to your wife like she's a servant to you. What did Jesus say? Jesus said this, I did not come to get served. I came to serve. That's what Jesus said. I did not come to serve. I came to serve. If you know this about Jesus, Jesus did not go around with his hand out saying, do this for me. Jesus always said, what can I do for you? That's what you, brother, need to say to your woman, and sister, that's what you need to say to your man. I'm going to tell you this, brother, if you treat her right, she's going to treat you right. A good woman going to treat you right. She's going to treat you right. And let me tell you something, brother. It will amaze you when God brings a good woman in your life and you're doing it right, because she's going to do some things and you're going to wonder, is this real? All those women that you dealt with in the past, brother, you're going to say, I wasted my time, but I got experience. And you're going to look at her. And let me tell you this, brother. When God called you to grow, some women may come on to you. But they may come on to you. Like sister, some men may come on to you, because guess what? People like what they can't have. If God make you shine, brothers and sisters, if you're a couple, if God make you shine, guess what, brothers? Somebody gonna want your woman. Sister, guess what? Someone gonna want your man. People want to get what they can't have. So you got to remember that. You got to utilize your wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and discernment, brothers and sisters. Guess what? I enjoyed this dinner tonight, my brothers. I enjoyed my meal with you, my brothers and sisters. I hope that you enjoyed this good soul food tonight at the dinner table. I really, really enjoyed talking to you all. Those of you that are on the book, if you don't mind, like and share. It won't cost you nothing. And then those of you that are on the tube, if you are not a subscriber, subscribe, share, and like. It won't cost you nothing, because we have some good soul food that other people need to know about. The dinner table is big. It's big, my brother. It's big, my sister. Just like Jesus filled those over 5,000 men and women with that fish sandwich. I can feed you too, but I ain't Jesus. I'm not Jesus now. I'm not taking Jesus' place. I can't feed you 5,000 fish now. I can't do that. But I can feed you, my brothers and sisters, with a little knowledge. Okay, I can do that. Amen. God forbid, fruits is always tempting. Thank you. That's right, Sister Jessica. Sister Jessica know what I'm talking about. Forbidden fruit is always tempting. Always remember that. Thank you, brother. Thank you, sister. Those of you that will make comments throughout the show, thank you, Sister Flo, and the rest of you, Sister Mary, the rest of you all, Sister, Brother Joe, all of you all. Thank you so much, because at the dinner table, I want you all to be able to express yourselves. When you express yourself, that's what, when you at a literal dinner table, my brother and sister, you talk, right? So I want you all to know and feel like, hey, we could talk to Tony. We could talk to others on here. I want you all to feel that way, okay? I want you to feel this family, and invite some of your family, other family members and some of your friends, okay? Always remember that. I love you, brothers. I love you, sister. You all have a good evening. Peace out.